I'll sit up front. I'm not afraid.
Welcome to Hudson Valley Tech Meetup. Thanks for being here. Hudson Valley Tech Meetup is you and us. We're all Hudson Valley Tech Meetup here in Hudson Valley. So welcome. We do this every month. The music's still on. Chris, are you in the house?
Yep. I will go turn it on.
Thank you. Chris is our host up here this evening. Thank you to Gusteau for hosting us here at Poughkeepsie. We do this back and forth every month. We're the Poughkeepsie, then we're in Kingston, then we're in Poughkeepsie, then we're in Kingston. Sometimes we're at SUNY New Paltz. Sometimes we're at other places. When people offer to host us and give us interesting things to do,
Just kind of pick up on my.
we're all over the place. It's good like that. It's fun. It's good to explore. But thank you to Gusteau for hosting us here when we are in Poughkeepsie. There's wonderful food available, wonderful drinks, and there is a food special of some sort. Sabrina, you want to mention that?
Sure, yeah. I think in the beginning when you got here, joking so fast, but you have networking time at the end where Gusteau keeps bringing in appetizers for as long as we're here to eat them, and it's $15 a person. So if you're interested, Diana's not there.
I'm here.
Find Diana. You can either give her the money now or at the end, and they also take credit card. This is a great way to thank them for giving us space.
Thank you, Gusteau. We, about a year and a half ago, were our company, Evolving Media Network up in Kingston, and Daniel and Sabrina's company, Mark and Phil here in Poughkeepsie, both realized that there was great talent in the Hudson Valley, but that when we needed to hire people or connect with people or do work, it was always kind of oddly difficult and time-consuming to find the community. We knew the community was there, but we weren't able to connect with it easily, and we were hearing from other people, businesses in the community that they were having a hard time connecting with technologists also. So we invented New York Tech Meetup, 44,000 people in the city doing great work every month, and we said we need a Hudson Valley Tech Meetup, and there's now 620 something people, 640 something people. It's growing more all the time.
70 today.
Cool.
It's technologists and business owners and members of government and educators and enthusiasts and all sorts of wonderful folks. All of you in the room, we are all Hudson Valley Tech Meetup. So thanks for being a part of it. It's been really exciting for us to realize how strong and awesome and wonderful and intelligent the community is. And really, this is the greatest thing that I get to do every month. Is come together with all of you to do some presentations, some demos, some learning, and then have a beer afterwards or a non-alcoholic beverage of your choice.
We're trying to make this a full-time job for Kale, so.
Eventually will be, yes. And I'll be making those spots this evening.
The other big thing about Hudson Valley Tech Meetup is, if you think of other large tech places like Silicon Valley, Boston, what they're doing on their end, we're trying to develop an ecosystem here. We have some folks tonight that are actually doing that, trying to evolve the Hudson Valley in a way of showing, what they're doing, telling about the different types of programming languages they know and things like that. So what we want to make sure is that the people that are coming up and speaking to us are people that are here in the Hudson Valley. So everyone that's speaking tonight are folks that live in our community. We're not necessarily bringing up people from New York City or stuff like that. These are all folks that are right here in the Hudson Valley. So you're going to see them talking tonight, but you also might see them in a coffee shop tomorrow. I'll wait for that, guys. So don't be afraid. If you want to be able to speak, if you want to share about something, we want you to. So even if you're afraid of talking in public, even if you don't think you can put together slides, whatever the case may be, get in touch with us. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what you're interested in talking about. And we'd love to have you in future presentations.
If you'd like to connect with other people, like Daniel said, it is an ecosystem, and connecting us all together, helping people find each other, whether you're looking for a job or you have someone who you need to employ or there's a position open on your staff, or you want to build an educational program, or you're an investor who is trying to grow the investment opportunities that exist here. All of those opportunities are developing in the Hudson Valley right now. Tony DeMarco is here. Tony, you want to just raise your hand? So Tony's here from Maris. Tony has pulled together a lot of folks who've been working on this over the past couple of years around a program called HV Hub. Tim Moore is here. There's a couple of other folks from the leadership team as well. And there's all sorts of wonderful opportunities in tech. Hudson Valley Tech Meetup is just one of them. And so if you've got questions about this, if you're looking for opportunities, they are out there for sure. Give it a shot. And with that, I think we'll start talking about our sponsors, because they make this possible. The first one I want to talk about actually is Dragon Search. Abe, you should tell, is here from Dragon Search. He's right here. So Abe became one of our first official sponsors, and they're sponsoring both in Kingston and Poughkeepsie. They are also hosting one of our new meetups, which we'll talk about later. And Dragon Search is a digital marketing company. It's one of the best anywhere, and they're actually right here in the region. With how many people on your team? 22 people up in Kingston, beautiful office space, doing wonderful work. We really appreciate that support. So thanks to Dragon Search. Presentation here. Last time we hit for communities. Obviously, they are providing healthcare services for everybody. So we like to connect with, I think, grassroots, local, community level. Hudson Valley Tech Meetup is one of those. We've connected with them. They're supporting us for an entire year. They put down a little bit of money every month to help us do this every month. We'll probably have a new projector soon because of it, and we thank them for their support. Capital region, but also coming all the way down the Tech Valley, which goes all the way down to Orange County. And a bunch of developers came together and did a hackathon over 2 months to produce new civic apps and come up with solutions for civic engagement through technology. That was sponsored by them. Hudson Valley Tech Meetup met them, and as some of their new sponsorship money lit up, they said, we'd like to give you a little bit of money. And specifically, they have sponsored a little charging station for us. So for those of you who are running out of power, there is a powered by AT&T charging station now. So yeah, thanks AT&T for keeping us in power and devices. And they're great. They're really doing a lot of support on the ground in a lot of different ways. Ed is usually here. He's not here tonight, but you'll meet him at some point. And also thanks to our partners. These are folks who are not necessarily giving us cash, but are giving us in-kind services, and we're really grateful for that. Jacobowitz and Gubitz, actually Gary Schuster's here from Jacobowitz and Gubitz tonight. He's speaking tonight. They give us legal counsel. They helped us set up our filings with the state. They are a progressive law firm, and if you are a startup company or you have the need to talk to an attorney, highly recommend talking with Gary or anyone at Jacobowitz and Gubitz. Also, Hudson Valley Economic Development, Larry Gottlieb has connected us with the larger business community, and that's been really successful. We did our first SUNY UPaul sort of off-site special meetup with them at the Advanced Manufacturing Center, and that was great. We love Hudson Valley Economic Development Corporation. We also love Jerry Haller, who's over there with his headphones on, and he is webcasting, streaming to Google.
Jerry Power rocks.
RSI. Yes, hi Jerry. That was Cheryl talking to the mic, so so thanks, Jerry, for doing that. Is anybody watching at home right now? We have any viewers? We've had like 1 or 2 the past couple of meetups. Anybody yet? No? Okay. 1, 2. We got 2. Awesome. Yes. It's growing. That's Cheryl. Cheryl's got the mic right now, and she's talking to Jerry. So Jerry has been helping us out with that, figuring that out as we go. We have a loft tonight, so we'll get some good audio. And I've been told that people are watching these things afterwards, so we're going to continue to improve the tech there, and we're appreciative of that. We also thank my company, Evolving Media Network, who basically pays for me to come and do this, and so we thank them. You'll notice that there's a conspicuous missing partner from our list this evening, and that is a company called Market Phil, which was founded by Daniel and Sabrina. They're no longer on our list because tonight we are welcoming the new partner, and it is the new company that they have founded called Digital Empire, and I want to give them a chance to just tell us what is Digital Empire?
We're just Mark and Phil, but better. No, Mark and Phil was originally called Marketing and Philanthropy, so we were working with nonprofits mostly. And while that's fruitful and we have fun with that, what we started realizing was we were getting a lot of people from startups and from businesses that wanted to be able to work with us, so we just evolved. That's all. So now we're Digital Empire.
Cool. Well, welcome to the family. We're glad to have you. And I guess without further ado, we'll get right into our program here. And there'll be opportunities to connect with your colleagues throughout the evening and make announcements. So if anybody has been hoping to connect with somebody or has something to tell the community this evening, you'll have a chance to do that later, so get ready. And if, what's that? Yes, there will be a quiz, absolutely. You've all been provided with pencils. I would like to welcome now Cheryl Schneider, if you would come up here and give us your presentation. Cheryl has been an IT professional for quite some time. I first met you when you came to Kingston quite a while ago. We've both been in Kingston for at least 10 years.
Almost 20.
Almost 20. The MacWorks is one of the best IT support companies in the region, specializing in Mac IT and support. And we're really glad to have you here on the stage, Cheryl. So thanks for coming out. And why don't you take us through Keep IT Safe. And here's your clicker.
Okay, good. A clicker.
Cool. Thanks.
Cool. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. So I came out of New York City back in 1996, and I came up here lock, stock, and barrel, and I've never looked back. Have no regrets. My office is at 721 Media Center, which is in Kingston, and my area of expertise, you can probably figure that out, is in the Apple ecosystem. So it started out with Mac OS, but as iOS devices came into be, we now embrace the iOS platform as well. And we also develop mobile apps for iOS and Android. But today I'm going to talk about keeping your IT safe, keeping it all safe. And it's 5 things to do, but it's more like 5 conceptual spaces. But I'm going to throw out something here, that the only really safe device. When we talk about devices today, you're going to embrace mobile devices and computers as well, because everything should really be looked at as a device. The only safe one is the one that's been unboxed. That's the only one you can really trust. And there's a caveat to that, because some of these boxed devices have been hacked in production or were specifically cloned for devious ends. So a little story, because I do some procurement in the government space. And the government always wants the best price. The government always wants the cheapest price, and you have to actually show that you give all these people this price, and we're giving the government the cheapest price. So the government at one point, I think it was the Air Force, bought a whole bunch of Cisco routers. Well, what do you know? Cisco didn't make them. A whole bunch, like a few thousand Cisco routers to deploy in the Air Force worldwide. But Cisco didn't make them. Some company made them. They looked just like Cisco. Everything looked like Cisco until you got down to the serial numbers. It wasn't Cisco. When they started calling up for tech support, there wasn't none. The serial numbers didn't exist. So you got to be really, really careful in this world. Not only what you get, but who you get it from, and if it's really behaving and doing what it says it's doing. So I throw it out that even if it's unboxed, it might not be safe. So now who's here in security? All the people who do some security in their lives? Okay, good. You can challenge me on this, but you probably agree. Here's 5 things, and it's not specific detail things. But one thing is you need to realize that we are in a mobile world. Everything's about mobility now. You have to think in terms of mobility for everything. Also, adopt. There we go. Know what you've got, know where it is, who's got it, what's on it, and what else that account has access to. Trust in God, but tie the camel, an old Sufi saying. I'll talk about that. Security is not just security's job. Security is everybody's job, as well as be proactive. Don't just set it and forget it. So I'm going to go back through that. Okay. So you've got to adopt a mobile mindset. For those of us who are relatively new in the industry, that's sort of like a big duh. But for those of us who've been around for a long time, this is a big, big mind shift for people in tech. Because really, there's been mobile and there's been the stuff that's wired and secure on the network. But everything now should be looked at as if it's mobile. And one of the things about mobile is people will leave the network. So you can have everything nailed down. You can have the best firewall and the security, and everybody's got really tough passwords to the file server. But guess what? They're going to leave. They're going to go out, they're going to either go to clients, they're going to go on calls, they're going to take their laptop with them. Everybody's got a phone, a tablet. They're going to, whether they were deployed by the company or whether people brought their own. Once they come into your organization, you let them put mail and calendars and contacts and everything on that device. Now they've got your stuff on their device. So if you want to have an interest in keeping that device secure, that's totally within your domain. The industry is pushing mobile first, but I'm going to kind of say that everybody should kind of adopt that and should consider every single computer as well as devices as if they were mobile and start managing them and looking at them as if they were mobile devices. And that is a big change in philosophy. Also, you got to take your wireless really seriously. Wireless is more vulnerable than the wired Ethernet. It's Ethernet, but it uses air as the transmitter, not a copper cable. I can't tell you how many organizations I go into that won't let you on the network, but you can get on the wireless. But that wireless gets you on the network in most cases. Unless they have a completely isolated guest network, most people are just giving you some username and password. It's just a password and letting you on their network. You got to stop doing that, because you might as well be giving everybody access to your physical wire. The other thing about wireless is it's easier to intercept and hack. So while you can lock people in and you can pretty much tell where somebody's intercepting or interjecting into the communication stream when you're on a wire, you can't do it as easily when you're in wireless. So you got to take your wireless security even more seriously than you do your wired security, because you don't know if that person's sitting in a car outside in the parking lot or 3 floors up or in the next cubicle over not doing what they're supposed to be doing. We want to trust everybody, but the best thing to do is help people stay secure and honest. So there's a technology called Radius Server. It uses a protocol called 802.1x. If you've got a wireless network and your people are connecting wirelessly, you've got to run them through something like this. What this does is it authenticates the user. And it also creates an encryption scheme that's changing the encryption salt and certificate on a periodic basis that's much faster than any supercomputer can hack it. So it's keeping that communication very, very secure. So everybody's got to go to Radius. It means you're going to have to put up you're going to have to put up an LDAP server, or you're going to have to implement something like Active Directory or Open Directory or some other directory services, because they're going to authenticate against that first, and then they're going to get access to the wireless. Okay, so this is a big, big deal, because anybody ever hear of war driving? War driving was very big in the early Wi-Fi days. Get in the car with a laptop, go out, and somebody drives down the street, and you figure out who's got an open Wi-Fi. Anybody got one that's saying Linksys? Okay, I'm going to put admin in the password field, right? You're all laughing because that's the password for the old Linksys computers. And then you can own that computer. You can own that network. It's that simple. So always change the name of your network. Always change the passwords. But don't just have one generic Wi-Fi password, even for your guests. All users must have unique accounts. Your devices are leaving the office. Full disk encryption now is called for. Whether you're using the built-in stuff from the vendor or you're going third party, full disk encryption is the way to go on everybody's device, on your laptops. Whether you're using Windows or Mac or Unix. And here's the thing about full disk encryption. If you don't log out, it hasn't encrypted. So you've got to make people log out before they leave the premises. Some organizations do that in policy, and there's a no tolerance for not doing that. So the computer, if it's logged out, it's fully encrypted. Anybody gets a hold of it, there's nothing they can do to it, unless they're very lucky or the security isn't really strong, the passwords aren't strong. And give guests access to the internet only. This seems really self-evident, but most people in small businesses especially don't do it. Secure your stuff. You got to know where it is. First of all, you got to know what you have. You got to know where it is, who's got it, what's on it, and what else those people have access to. Because everything is mobile, everything moves. You got to make an inventory. I don't care if it's an Excel spreadsheet. Mobile device management also allows me to push down new software updates, to do security, to pull things back, to be able to wipe and track. You can pull up, on a map where all your devices are at once. The camel, it's an old Sufi saying. So we all want to hope for the best. We all have great people working for us. We trust them. It's not a matter of we don't trust our employees. It's a matter of what happens to our stuff when we're not paying attention. So we can trust everybody to do the right thing, but we have to do what we need to do to make sure that we're using technology so people are doing the right thing. So most of us hate to have a standard user account, have to put our administrative password and username every time. But if we don't, and we let our users operate as administrators, 9 times out of 10, that admin account is the root account password. And if 9 times out of 10, maybe not in your organization, but in most organizations, they'll put an administrator account. They won't change root's password. User comes along, uses their regular account. Something wants their password. They give it the password. That's all that a script needs to escalate to root is that password. Now the malicious software has full access to your machine. So if we keep everybody at standard user level, we're just keeping the honest people honest, and so you don't accidentally give up the keys to the kingdom. Every device has to have a passcode, whether it's your device or somebody's bringing their own device, because a passcode will encrypt all the information on the device. And that's how we wipe the device. We don't really wipe the device. We pull the certificate that encrypts all the data. So if you have that set up in advance, you can do it. Yeah? In Apple's ecosystem, it does because of the hardware and software. It encrypts the data. It's setting the key, but you don't set that encryption unless you put a passcode in. Okay? I'm dealing with what we have here today. I can't deal with what we got tomorrow. Okay. Use passcodes and use strong passwords. I'm not going to go into the password policies. Everyone knows it. Just use it and do it. And use technology to lock this stuff down or keep people, within a safe realm as often as possible, as opposed to telling people how to do it. Use your technology to make it so. Security is everybody's job. The worst thing you can do is set up a bunch of policies and have everybody hate you. Some people like that. But really what you want to do is you want to define what's acceptable and what's not acceptable and give people the understanding of why. And there's just a whole series of policies that you can develop. Write them down so that everybody understands, that everybody's on the same page. Maybe make them sign off on it when you hire them or when you implement a new policy. But everybody should understand what they can and can't do. The first are more social, what I can and can't do, on the network or in social media. But every single computer must have antivirus protection and malware protection. And Mac people, bad news. The jig is up. Everybody needs malware and antivirus protection needs it to be enabled now. Everything needs a strong password and a passcode. There should be no blank password fields. There should be no 1, 2, 3s or the name of somebody's dog. Encryption policy. Does everyone encrypt their data? How do they do it? What can they do? Whether or not you can take email from your work account and send it to your Yahoo account or Gmail or Google, or whatever else. That's a no-no in a lot of organizations because you're letting proprietary information, go out into a completely unsecure universe. With mobile device management, we can actually do that with profiles. Train your users about social engineering.